Social media is currently on easy mode, especially for entrepreneurs wanting to build their business through a personal brand. And I should know because I've got a silver play button for one of my clients. I'm getting results like this, and this every single week for myself and my clients. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Simon. I own a company called Viral Growth. For the past 4.5 years, almost 5 years, I've been helping a lot of the internet's biggest names in the business and entrepreneur space grow on social media and make a lot of money from their social media followings. And currently, right now, is the best time to get started on growing your personal brand, or at least pushing harder on your personal brand and really trying to make money from it for three key reasons, which I'm going to be covering in this video. Now, the first reason why this is literally the best time to get started with scaling your personal brand is because the algorithms are literally on easy mode right now. Okay. Now, there's a lot of platforms that you could choose from, like Twitter, or I suppose it's called X at the minute, X.com. You have, LinkedIn, you got YouTube, you got IG, you got TikTok. You have all these platforms, but realistically, the one that you need to be focusing on is Instagram. Now, of course, YouTube is the second best option, and we'll get into that in a second, but we want to be prioritizing IG because the short form algorithms are currently the easiest to get traction. The reason why I don't like TikTok, even though it's like the most viral of the short form algorithms, is the users are either usually very low quality or they're very low intent. TikTok is just pure scrolling. There's no other forms of media there. And so people who use TikTok as their primary source of consumption are extremely low intent, extremely low intention span. Now, with X and YouTube and LinkedIn, their algorithms are good because they have a longer attention span, but they're much harder to get traction on quickly. So you have to be willing to spend a lot more time and put out a lot more content to actually get a big size audience, so at least a few thousand to 10,000 plus followers. Now with IG, it has the best combination of a fast growing audience. You can literally get hundreds of thousands of followers within 30 days. I've seen it happen multiple times. And it also has the best combination of high quality prospects because people buy things through Instagram. They pay money through there. They treat it more like a place where they'll spend a significant more amount of time consuming longer form mediums such as photos, they'll watch stories, and of course they'll watch their reels as well. But Instagram has the best combo of fast growth and high quality followers. Now, the thing that we need to understand now, and this is the reason why it is actually so easy, is that your audience size, it literally doesn't matter anymore. It used to be you racked up, 1 million followers and you made a post and your post got sent to all of those people, sometimes even notify them. Like, hey, Shaw just posted a new photo. Doesn't do that anymore, which is good for you if you haven't built a massive audience because it means that they're giving a lot more attention to smaller creators now, Instagram and YouTube both. So even if you did have a big audience at the minute and you had 100K people, let's say you posted a reel, you let it run for a week, then you look at the insights, only 20% of the viewers of that reel would actually be from your followers. 80% would be non-followers. So what was the point in amassing this big following in the first place? Now, there obviously is a point because we can market to them through stories and photos. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you are starting from scratch, it's never been easier to build a huge audience because you have an equal playing field with the big accounts. Because right now, it's all down to the quality of the posts that you make. It's all about the video, the creative. It's not about the size of the audience that you already have. It's like you're almost starting from scratch each time. Almost. Now, audience size literally does not matter. And we're seeing that small creators are getting growth both on Instagram and YouTube. So focus primarily your growth on IG and treat YouTube as a secondary platform where you can move people from Instagram over to a longer form environment to get to know, like, and trust you through much more in-depth content. The second reason why this is easy is that in order to grow, it's also on easy mode, right? And this is the strategy that you need to understand. Now, the primary focus, like we said, of IG, or the primary reason we like it is you have the potential to blow up quickly after only a handful of videos, like literally just a handful of videos. You could post for once a day for 30 days. And if your content was good and if it resonates the right way, you could get tens of millions of views in that time frame. You technically could. Now, the algorithms recently have actually changed. I'm going to explain to you how the algo works right now. So you have to imagine that inside the algorithm, I imagine this box represents the algorithm. There's all these little boxes, and all these boxes represent the amount of people that are interested in certain things, right? So this one could be like fitness, this one could be business, this one could be travel, this one could be sport, this one could be gambling, this one could be, I don't know, decorations, this one could be real estate, this one could be watches, whatever it is. Now, each of these boxes would have little cross sections of people that are interested in everything. And you have to imagine that, just because someone's interested in one thing doesn't mean they're not also interested in this thing over here. So they categorize every single person based on what they're interested in. And then they have a list in the back that says, okay, we have this particular topic. This is how many people are interested in it. And obviously, the bigger the topic is, the more people that are interested in it, the more likely that your video will get shown to this big amount of people. If you have like this tiny little topic, right, where like nobody is interested to it, and there's only like 10,000 people in the world that really care about that, your video is not going to get much views at all, right? So obviously we don't want to be creating extremely mass market content that's totally irrelevant for our product. But what we do want to do is create content on two tiers. Now, imagine this is like an awareness scale in terms of how known the topic is. Like where at the top, you've got like the Super Bowl, you've got Taylor Swift, you've got Kim Kardashian, right? At the very, very top. This is like as aware as something could be. The absolute most aware is up here. Then let's say down here, you have like your industry level, okay? And at the very bottom, you've got your specific niche, okay? So this is ultimate mass market awareness. This is your industry, whether it's like marketing or sport or whatever. And down here is like your specific niche. All the way down here, which means less people, as you can see by the small funnel, less people are aware. If all of your content is down here talking about extremely niche topics, you're never going to get served to like this big pool of people that can actually watch it, right? Even most of the people inside your niche are never going to see that video because it's going to perform so badly with the first test group of people that it shows the video to. It's never going to push it out to anybody else. So what you need to do then is create some content at the industry level, okay? Some content at the industry level and some content at the niche level. Because by pure definition, your niche right here is inside this industry, which means if you have a video that gets, 10 million views at the industry level, it means that there is probably a large chunk of those 10 million people that are inside your niche also watching and also following you off the back. Okay, so what do you then need to do with that information? 40% of your reels should be posted with topics at the industry level of awareness inside your industry, of course. And this is what we call top of funnel. Top of funnel content. More people are aware of that specific topic that you're talking about, okay? Then 40% of your content needs to be about your niche. And this is, of course, Reels. Now, this is your classic valley. This is like how a specific avatar can get a specific result. This is called middle of funnel. Now, at the top of funnel, it will get you views. It will get you a lot of followers. And inside that group of followers that you earn will be your niche. Then your niche content will prove to the people that followed you that are inside your niche that you have the solution for them, and you'll attract them. You'll repel everybody else. Okay. Now, this top of funnel gets you a name built in your industry, and the niche content for the middle of funnel will get you known as an expert in your industry, in your space. Okay. But if you only post this middle funnel style, you'll never get any kind of attention from anybody. You'll never get exposed to the wider market. No one will ever know you exist because you'll get boxed too far in the algorithm for them to show you to enough people, which is why we need to have 40% of our content as top of funnel and 40% as niche, as middle funnel. Now, you might be wondering about the final 20%. This is simply bottom of funnel, and these are just straight CTAs. So whenever a ICP, an ideal client profile, gets nurtured for your middle funnel content, then they'll see a CTA and they may become a client. Okay, so just make sure that you understand that. But this is actually easier than it's ever been. It used to be extremely difficult to get any kind of traction whatsoever. Now, as long as you follow this logic, it's so much easier to get massive attention in your industry. I promise you, if you stick to that strategy, that posting strategy, you will get traction. Now, the third part, obviously, we want to be focusing on monetization. Now, monetization is also easier than it's ever been, but it's also more competitive than it's ever been. More people are getting aware to the fact that they can post social media content, they can make money online, they can sell high ticket products, all this stuff. So it's harder in the sense that it's more competitive, but it's easier in the sense that all the tools are there, all the resources are there, and clients and consumers are way more likely to buy things from a personal brand today. They'll even buy through the DMs. So people are extremely comfortable to purchase through DMs. And we need to leverage that, okay? Now, the only way someone will buy via DM is if you have built a personal brand, right? If you just have a random ass, profile with no content, you've not built followings, no one's going to buy from you via the DM. If you build that personal brand, if someone is liking your content, they're viewing almost every video, they're engaging with you, they are so likely to buy through the DMs, like you don't even understand, right? You don't have to always take sales calls to close deals that are 5K or 10K even, right? If you have your personal brand, you can close through the DMs, okay? Now, you want to optimize your sales process for maximized trust. Now, trust leads to sales, as we all know. And the way to expedite that trust process and that buyer journey from cold to money in the bank is with personal brand. If you want to obviously build personal brand in a specific niche, you start putting out great content, your funnels are on point, your face is in the video content, your face is in the post booking videos. And if you're actually taking the calls, by the way, if you're a smaller operation and you're not getting that many calls, if you're taking the calls, your close rates could be 80% plus. It's just a fact. If someone is booking a call off the back of your content, they're pretty much pre-sold. Okay. So if you get on the call, and your face is in the content, you're much more likely to close that person. So optimize the sales process around maximizing trust by leveraging the trust built through the personal brand. Now, 40 to 50% of your sales should come from the DMs, or I should say could come from the DMs. There's probably a prospect that you close on a sales call that you could have just closed in the DMs and saved yourself a lot of time and saved yourself the potential that they talk themselves out of doing it before they get to the call, or maybe you fumble the bag on the call and you don't close them right there and then. Most people, 40, 50%, could be closed in the DMs, but only if you have that personal brand, okay? Now, the way you want to be doing this is by automating a lot of the process with ManyChat. Now, you obviously should have some kind of setter in place to set appointments or a closer in the DMs unless you're closing yourself. But with ManyChat, you can automate the initial step, the first step, which is sending that DM, that first question. And a question that I like to send is, if someone has, for example, requested a free lead magnet where they commented on my reel and they said, send me the thing, I have ManyChat send the thing. And after they send it, I put a delay of like 3 minutes. And then I say, hey, Simon here, or whatever the client's name is. Just curious, what inspired you to get the thing? What inspired you to get the weight loss guide? What inspired you to get the investing guide? What inspired you to get the whatever? Then they're going to get back to you and say, well, I've been thinking about losing weight and I don't feel good in my own skin, blah, 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 blah. That just kicks off a conversation where it's like a sales call and you can literally close them right there in the DMs. Okay. So you need to understand that monetization is not literally on easy mode, because before people were not closing the DMs and now they are closing in the DMs. Real quick CTF from myself. If you want my help with scaling on social media, growing your personal brand and monetizing, so improving your offer, helping building out your funnels, your content strategy, etc. You have a personal brand that makes money, you have a business that's already making money and you want to make a shitload more money, then just click the description. There's a link there to book a call with us. Look forward to speaking with you, and make sure to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.